The sixth Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions is currently underway in Kazakhstan, and this aims to develop a culture of tolerance and mutual respect as opposed to an ideology of hatred and extremism.
And the question is, why is this the global of the Congress relevant to South Africans? Our colleague Blain Herman spoke to a South African delegate about this and other issues.
Well, we're coming to you from Astana, Kazakhstan. It's the second and final day of the Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions. And I guess people here, delegates that have gathered here from over 46 countries, are hoping for tangible solutions as religious leaders as well as politicians push for peace and tolerance. Now, one of the delegates that are present here today is Sheikh Ismail Kiran from the Al-Azhar Mosque in Cape Town. Sheikh, thank you very much indeed for your time, all the way from South Africa, present here. What's your impression so far with regards to this Congress?
Firstly, thank you very much. From a cold Astana and to a spring sunny for South Africa. My impressions of this conference is it's awesome, because the issues that are being addressed here are very, very relevant, very significant, and all praise to the Almighty. And of course we thank the President of Kazakhstan to have initiated such a vehicle for change. And we hope and we pray that with the effort that all delegates can put into when we go back to our own countries, inshallah, that it will really work.
Yeah, speaking about our own countries, back home we have issues such as crime, murder, the pernicious scourge of rape, gender-based violence. That's some of the issues that we deal with, isn't it? What sort of role do you think religious leaders play in society in order to steer them in the right direction?
First and foremost, the conference basically addressed the absence of a moral consciousness, a universal moral consciousness. And this is what has led humanity at large, especially now in the 21st century, with this conflict or interface between materialism and spiritualism or moral consciousness. That breakdown of communication there has basically led to humanity functioning, as we can say, like machines, without a conscience, and chasing this world, for the love of the world, and that this is the beginning and the end all, that there's no existence beyond this world. And so that's the universal issue that's being addressed here. Coming to our specific country, we come from a legacy of colonialism, we come from a legacy of apartheid. And what we perhaps see at home is still this ideological and theological apartheid walls that has probably been created in the psychic of our South African mind, that the us and them and the close communities, and this we have to break through. And the only way we can break through this is by having a vibrant, a relevant, and a visionary educational curriculum.
Yeah, education is key, and that's one of the points that came out of this Congress. This Congress is also promoting mutual respect and tolerance, isn't it, as opposed to an ideology of hatred and extremism. Bearing that in mind, what sort of new threats do South Africa face?
The new threat that South Africa is facing is if we do not develop in our educational structure at home a vibrant and relevant educational system, this is only going to get worse. The threats of fanaticism, extremism, and so forth. We already have seen a church in District 6 being bombed during the Feast Mosque War campaign. We already seen 2 killings at 2 mosques in South Africa. And if we're not going to be careful, if we're not going to learn from this and learn to transform our society, then we are in serious trouble. I just want to quote the philosopher Alvin Toffler, who said, that illiteracy in the 21st century is not going to be people that can't read and write. It's going to be people that refuse to learn, refuse to unlearn and refuse to relearn. And that's very, very important and very potent and very relevant to our society, you know, and probably to world society.
Sheikh, thank you very much indeed for your time and your insight, and all the best for the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That was Sheikh Ismail Kiran from the Al-Azhar Mosque. Well, he's from Cape Town here in Astana, Kazakhstan. It's a congress that aims to promote mutual respect, tolerance, as well as peace. That's how we wrap things up from Astana, Kazakhstan. It's back to studio.